Down, Henny.
Luke, Lexi's young but has been on tour for about 30-40 years, it seems. She's been playing forever. She doesn't lack in experience. She can do it all. Not to mention, you'll be looking at her back for most of the day because she'll outdrive you.
Yes, Lexi loves the long ball, and so do we. Good luck in this rivalry, because when Lexi gets on top, it's very hard to beat her. Will this one hang on and find the fairway, or is it headed towards the rough? Yeah, this lies pretty deep here. Going with the 7.
They don't look to be dressed appropriately if they're heading to the beach.
And he's down there. You got to read.
18-footer here is what he's facing.
A par putt on the table.
And that's an opening hole par for this player.
Very nice par indeed. Very solid hole played.
He's currently tied for third. We know that Riviera starts with a 5-4, but it may as well be a 4-5 because the par 4 second is tougher than the par 5 first.
I've never seen a golf course where you're so happy to start off birdie bogey. It's the strangest thing I've ever seen. The second hole, pretty straight away off the tee shot. The second shot moves a little bit from left to right, back up the hill. There is some space on the right-hand side to miss your second shot up by the green, but there's no guarantees that it'll kick hard enough right to left to get back on the green. It's a sensational second hole.
And here we are with the third shot. Well, this should be unpredictable. Well, I'm sure it looked better in their mind before they hit it.
This is their 5th shot. That's a well-played chip shot there.
Such soft hands.
And just a little bit of work was all that was needed to finish up there. Now moving over to Lexi Thompson.
She's currently in 3rd place.
It's time to check on the leaderboard.
Pacific Palisades in California, the site of Riviera, the 3rd hole, par 4, elevated tee shot.
And a fairly generous fairway, a little bit more room out to the left than what players can see off the tee shot. Second shot is going to be downhill to a green that basically chases away from the player, going from the front portion of it all the way to the back. Difficult to get your second shot close here.
The ladies' game has been dominated by Koreans for such a long time, but America has been able to have this resurgence basically off the back of Lexi Thompson and the generation she's started to inspire.
Lexi Thompson is so fun to watch because she's got a very unique swing, and when you look at it, you kind of look back and you go, okay, that went a long way. Okay, that went right at the hole. And she's got such control over her golf ball. It's amazing. And the wins are going to continue to pile up for her year after year. I'm blown away by the fact that she is so aggressive on every single shot. There is no laying up in her game, and I love that. Now, that might cost her a few wins, but I tell you what, she's going to have a lot of wins because of that as well. I love the way she plays the game. It's exciting.
Getting ready to play their 3rd. 3 behind our leader. This putt just 5 feet away from the hole.
This is a must-make, guys. They've got this for bogey.
Let's take a look at Lexi Thompson, shall we?
She's currently ahead in this rivalry. Let's see what happens.
A chance now from the bunker for an up and down. Oh, that's clutch. What a way to save your par.
Oh, what a hole out. I'd love to say I'm surprised, but I'm not. This is just what they do.
Rich, the PGA Tour is basically a power game these days, although the fifth here at Riviera forces players just to hold off the tee.
The fairway does run out about 310 yards off the tee, and players not necessarily going to hit driver here. They have to be mindful that the fairway pitches significantly from right to left on their tee shot. From there, they're hitting their second shots downhill again to a green that chases away from them front to back. Again, a simple looking second shot, but a difficult one to get close.
And Henny, what are they looking at here?
The perfect leave. Uphill, can be firm.
Oh, a little bit of a rush of blood by the looks of it. That wasn't your best effort, was it? 5 feet coming up to the cup.
Yeah, you'll take that. Now moving over to Lexi Thompson.
Oh, she's taken the lead in this rivalry, but can she hold on to it?
Let's take a look at the leaderboard.
And unfortunately heading in the wrong direction on the leaderboard after that hole. The 6th hole at Riviera is one of the most famous par 3s on the West Coast, Rich. An absolute beauty.
It looks like a giant green donut with the bunker right in the center of the green, doesn't it? I love this hole.
Opting for the 6-iron. Any bounce to the left here would be helpful.
Henny, you've had the chance to have a look over this one?
Has to put this one downhill.
Just hammered that through the line. And that's for a bogey. Currently at 6 over par. Let's head to the par 4 7th at the Riv. Again, it's a par 4 that requires placement of the tee.
The fairway bunker down the left-hand side comes in quicker than you can imagine, and so players want to try and hit it out towards the far right part of it, but again, you push it a little bit, and now the Barranca comes into play. If you find the fairway, happy days. This green is probably one of the most severe tilted from back to front. Players need to make sure their second shots land past this hole in order for it to come back down towards the hole. You will have a downhill putt, but it's better than coming up short.
Playing to an elevated green here. Let's see if they've got the right club. Playing their 4th shot. Oh, these are good for the momentum, these ones. Right on 8 feet. In it goes, and that's unfortunately back-to-back bogeys.
2 bogeys in a row, never a good sign. Have to see if they can rebound from that.
The par 4 8th at Riviera is a choose-your-own adventure. Which fairway do you like to take?
I think most players are going to try and go down the left-hand side as it seems to be the easier of the two these days. However, where they stick that flag stick, well, that's a different question. If they stick it up front right, the left-hand side of the fairway, that's not the easiest approach. So better be mindful of where that flag stick is in order to pick which side of the fairway you want to drive it down.
Clubbing up, smart. Got to control it though. Let's see.
A birdie putt awaits. A bit long on that one. This one just outside 7 feet to the hole. A bit too much pace on that one. Bogey putt coming up here. The old hammer hands putt. Well, this was the conundrum, wasn't it? When the new rule came in, did they leave the flag stick in or did they take it out? I'm pretty sure they wish they would have taken it out there. Let's take a look at Lexi Thompson, shall we?
She got one back on that last hole.
Let's take a look at the current standings.
Well, that's a shame. That'll drop them down the standings, that's for sure.
The final hole on the outward half is a par 4 playing back up towards the clubhouse, Rich. That's a good par 4.
Only the big hitters are going to be able to carry that fairway bunker down the left-hand side. Most players are going to try and avoid it and even miss it the fairway out to the right-hand side, which is not a bad miss. From there, the second shot is directly uphill. Deep, deep bunkers on the front right part of this. That is not the place to miss it. Anything that's a little bit long will leave you a downhill putt, but that's the safe play.
Just taking a look at this one, Rich. Do you think it's makeable?
I really can't say I'm a fan of their chances on this one, Luke, but I tell you what, I've been wrong once before.
Wow, that's misjudged. Putting for bogey. Was on a good line. The putt drops, and we're moving on. Now moving over to Lexi Thompson.
She's currently in 5th place.
Come on, let's make this putt. It's for a share of 4th on the leaderboard. And after that effort, let's take a look at how it stands. Sitting at 12 over for the event.
One of the most often discussed holes in all of golf is the par 4 10th here at Riviera Ridge. There's so much strategy.
It's either driver or 3-wood for every player in this field, but you better be good with distance because this green is very narrow. What kind of rhythm is that? It must be tough falling out of bed every day with a rhythm like that.
Found the green side rough. Still, not a bad spot.
Ooh, that almost went down.
That's a touch of class. Terrific little chip.
Love watching this player around the greens.
Sitting at 11 over for the event.
Moving up the leaderboard. I like it.
The par 5 11th, one of the better scoring holes on the course. Players are thinking 4 when they stand on this tee.
It's just a long straightaway par 5, almost a runway, if you like. Both sides of this fairway flanked by huge eucalyptus trees, which frames this tee shot brilliantly. You find the fairway, second shot, once again, straightforward. You must avoid that bunker front right at all costs. That is deep and nasty. You're not going to enjoy being in there.
Is there anything classier than someone that could hit a driver off the deck? And here we are with the third shot. Could roll into the rough on this one. Setting up in some very deep rough. Lining up from the sand now. Here's their sixth shot. Well, you like the look of those hands.
Just eyeballing that one, trying to make it.
Let's take a look at Lexi Thompson, shall we?
She's currently ahead in this rivalry. Let's see what happens.
And after that effort, this is how the leaderboard looks. Our current leader is enjoying a two-stroke lead. When you stand on the 12th tee, Rich, you're thinking to yourself, oh, a couple of strong back-to-back par fours, and it starts right here.
This is where the golf course gets extremely difficult, Luke. This tee shot moves from left to right, but massive overhanging eucalyptus trees down the right-hand side prevents you from hitting a high draw over them. Once you're in the fairway, though, your second shot is to a green that's really not as big as it should be for such a long hole. And there's a famous tree just short and left of this green, Bogey's tree. Not because of the score, because Humphrey Bogart used to sit there and just watch everybody butcher this hole.
This is one of those lengthy putts. Good one just to get close.
Some damage limitation. This one for a bogey.
Looks like a pretty straightforward 5-footer to me. That gets the job done. Our leader is a couple of shots up at this stage. Rich, the 13th hole. Slightly different look off the tee.
It's really cool. This tee shot is framed by large eucalyptus trees, both right and left. Requires a draw. Nothing else to do. You have to move this golf ball from right to left off this tee. If you do it correctly, well, that golf ball could chase down there miles down this fairway. You find the fairway down there, you're going to love the second shot. The difficulty gets when the pin is all the way back left in this little peninsula. You miss it a little bit left there, you're going to find the Barranca, and you're probably going to find a bogey or worse.
This one's headed towards the rough. Getting ready to play their third. Opportunity to make their par. It's got a chance. Didn't quite judge the speed on that one. That's a disappointing stroke. That's a push. And finishing this hole with a little tap in. Now moving over to Lexi Thompson.
Oh, she's taken the lead in this rivalry, but can she hold on to it?
And a little slide down the standings after that hole. The 14th, Rich, I know it's dear to your heart, the par 3. You made an ace there in tournament history, won a car. How do you tell the players to play it?
Hit a 7-iron, a high little draw 7-iron, and 2 hop it right in the hole, Luke. That's what I suggest. That makes it easy.
Not a bad play, that one.
Outside chance of the birdie, but a 2-putt here is still good.
If that's the right pace, this should drop. Never seen a scorecard that doesn't look good with a 2 on it. Oh, so close. Okay, let's head to the next. The 15th, Rich, a very good par 4. Although, if you're Victor Hovland, maybe the fairway's not in your line of sight.
It's a great par 4, and yet there's some players that have seen it a little bit differently lately. I always saw it as a dogleg from left to right, just avoid that fairway bunker down the right-hand side. And this is an interesting green. It's got a high spot on the left, and it's got a low middle section and a high section on the right-hand side, and you never have a flat putt. It is always breaking one direction or another, and it's either straight uphill or straight downhill. This is the most difficult green on the golf course by a long margin. If you see it differently, you can hit it down the right, down 17 fairway, but I fail to see how that's any kind of advantage.
All right, Henny. What's he got in front of him here with this putt?
He's looking at 20 foot. This will be a good putt to hole.
Yeah, that looked to be a bit of a misread.
I think he gave that one too much respect. They didn't want to hit it too hard and go racing past the hole.
The 16th at Riviera, Rich, is the last chance to get amongst the birdies on a par 3.
A breathtaking short par 3, 166, an island green surrounded by bunkers.
Let's take a look at Lexi Thompson, shall we?
She made bogey, gave one back on the last hole.
Let's get back to it, shall we? Always love these opportunities, especially when it's for birdie. Ouch, that hurts. This putt's about 4 feet from the hole. The last genuine scoring hole at Riviera is certainly this par 5 17th.
Any hopes of getting it home in 2, you better come up with something special off the tee and make sure to avoid the bunker on the right-hand side.
No, that's not the shot they wanted. That didn't look like their best swing to me. Lining up now, this shot from the fairway bunker. Setting up in the first cut here. Yep, that one's on the dance floor. You can two-putt that for sure. Now moving over to Lexi Thompson.
She's currently ahead in this rivalry. Let's see what happens.
And a par putt awaits him. Now the dreaded shove. Always hurts on the greens. And that putt will drop. Well done. One of the most famous finishing holes on the PGA Tour, Rich. This 18th at Riviera is a classic.
Aim for the palm trees in the distance, which are located just on the left-hand side of the green. A good tee shot there will set up an awesome-looking second.
This one might just sneak off the fairway. Time for the second shot on the 18th. Opting for the 5-iron. Hope it gets a good kick to the left. This would be a great up and down. Wow, that almost went in the hole. And that signs off on today's round. Well, Rich, I think it's fair to say that this player struggled with their game this week.
Hard to see anything positive they took away from this tournament, Luke. It was just a treacherous performance all around.
I'm Luke Elvey, alongside Rich Beem, and on behalf of all the hard-working folks at HB Studios, it's goodbye for now. .2K Sports and the PGA Tour proud to bring you the season-long race for the FedEx Cup. Today's coverage of the Northern Shore Open is about to begin. I'm Luke Elvey, alongside Rich Beem in the booth, and out on the course following our feature group is the delightful Henny Koyak. Hello, Henny.
Hi, Luke. I'm very happy to be following this particular featured group because there are rumours of quite the rivalry starting to bubble between these two players.
So it looks like they aim to beat Justin Thomas. Should add a bit of extra excitement to our coverage today, Henny.
Oh, that goes without saying, Luke, but Justin Thomas will not be easy to beat. I don't think there's a more competitive man out there on tour.
No, you're absolutely right there. He's a complete player. It will certainly be interesting to keep an eye on this rivalry throughout the event. This one's going right at the pin here. Well, that's beautifully judged.
Gotta like their chances from there.
4 feet to the cup.
This is their look at birdie.
Super shot, that.
Can't birdie them all unless you birdie the first, Luke. Good start.
And now we have this player currently tied for first with Rickie Fowler. Now let's hear from our on-course reporter, John McCarthy, who I see is just rolling up his beach towel. Been striding the fairways here in Florida for the last couple of days leading up to the event. John, what's the Emery Beach Club all about?
Well, Luke, one thing it's about is it's about water. Water hazards will feature prominently on this course this week. The greens also very undulating. There are ridges, there are shelves, there are tiers. I hope the players have done their homework this week because these approach shots into these greens, they're always important, but especially so here at Emery Beach. Several holes feature one of Beamer's nemesis, the tiny bunker. The tiny bunker is in play this week, so you got to be careful off the tee as they seem to pop out where you least expect them. Beautiful Florida course, though. I will enjoy the scenery, and I hope the players will enjoy the challenge of Emery Beach Club this week.
Teeing off here at the third hole.
Really hoping they play this one aggressively. Everybody likes going to the beach, except for now.
Second shot here on the third. And here we are with the third shot. Lovely touch. Well played.
Great touch.
And this effort by Justin Thomas.
He's just coming off a drop shot on that last hole.
Ooh, right by the hole. Oh, what a shame. That would have been a nice one to hole. And after that effort, this is how the leaderboard looks. Here we are at the fourth hole. That's a tad disappointing, isn't it? Henny, how's that ball lying?
They'll have to get their best bunker technique out here because this is nasty.
Getting ready to play their third. Currently in the lead by a shot. He's got a par putt here. Let's see if he can make it.
This is tracking right into the front of this cup.
Just a 4-footer remaining. Well, the leader giving a little hope for the rest of the field there as they put down a bogey on the scorecard. The fifth hole here at Emery Beach Golf Club is a 172-yard par 3 from the back tees. Rich, your thoughts?
Luke, the water on the left-hand side really is just there for decoration. Doesn't come into play. The difficult part, though, is this green sits well above the fairway there on the left-hand side. Most players are going to be bailing out, not wanting to go in that bunker to the right, but you miss it out to the left. You got a really challenging up and down.
Now let's switch our focus to Justin Thomas.
Yeah, he needs to press on that gas pedal. He's 2 strokes back from his rival.
Oh, you've made it. What a play. Let's catch up with the current proceedings. Putting for birdie here.
He's tracking.
And that's a long-range bomb. And rest assured their rival will be looking over their shoulder. Still in the lead now after that hole. Ooh, bold play here. Going with the Chief off the tee. That ball looked a little thirsty. Sitting at 1 under the card. Currently in the lead. And that one's headed to the drink. Justin Thomas, major champion, world #1 player, really has all the attributes, doesn't he, Rich?
He does. His focus on his own game is amazing. I think that this kid really understands how to play the game. He's got all the shots, but he doesn't try and get up there and hit it as hard as he can every single time. He gets out there and he learns how to play the game, hit the finesse shots when you need it, take some risks when you need to, but also back off when you don't need to. This kid is a real deal, complete game from head to toe.
Time now to forget the horrors of the last and focus on this next tee shot. That got caught up in a few of the branches. Sometimes you hit some good ones, sometimes you hit some bad ones. That's not your best shot. You're going to have to use that same club. On the green now, but a bit of work left to do here. Yeah, nicely holed. That's a good fight back.
In the bunker with their tee shot, and that is a very good save.
Sitting at a couple of shots over par in a share of 10th position. Let's take a look at the leaderboard. Now 4 back after that hole. We've reached the 8th hole. Going with the 5-iron here. He hit that pretty loose. Yep, that's a water ball. And here we are with the 3rd shot. 4 strokes off the lead. I've seen worse looking swings in a playground. Right into the water on that one. Playing their 5th shot. 4 shots behind our leader. Yeah, good swing. This one's heading up onto the green for sure. Didn't that look good for a long time? Just 3 feet to the cup. Now 8 shots back after that hole. We have a par 5 on this one. Lovely effort, that. Playing from around 240 yards. Opting for the 3-wood.
All right, going with a little bit more club. Let's see.
Now let's head over and see what JT's been doing.
He's currently in second place, hoping to overtake the leader.
Getting ready to play their third. Oh, wouldn't that have been nice? And that brings to an end that hole. Now 7 shots behind after that. And after a birdie at the last, they take the honour on the hole. Well, that's a handy shot. Do you like the view from where you're standing, Henny?
Yeah, I think he's got around 135.
Needs this one to kick right. Not a bad shot, that. Still a chance.
Looking for back-to-back birdies here, Luke.
Second shot here at the 10th. What are we looking at for this putt, Henny?
Setting up this putt 15 feet from the cup. All right, guys, this for 2 birdies in a row.
Solid play finds that player moving up the leaderboard after that hole. Looks to be going with a hybrid here.
Yep, that'll work. That's fine.
A chance to get amongst the action of the top 20. This putt drops. That was a gallant attempt. Oh, I don't mind this par putt. Yeah, nothing to sweat over that one. We'll hold. Trailing by 6 shots after that hole. Here we are, Rich, on the 12th tee at Emery Beach. And this par 5 is at 550 from the back tees.
And what a hole this is. Bunker down the right-hand side comes into play if you really mishit it, but the one right in the center, that little zit, I tell you what, that is going to make some players angry. I can promise you that. If you avoid all that, second shot, fairly straightforward. Anything bailing out to the right is going to lead to a really simple pitch shot for your up-and-down birdie.
Time for the 5th shot. That's not going to find the fairway. That always looked wet, didn't it? Well, I know that we're in the booth and not right up close to it, but it doesn't take a smart person to work out that's not a nice lie. And Henny, what's he facing with this one?
He's looking at perhaps 175, I'd say.
Not a bad approach. Grab the putter from the caddy. You're dancing.
Oh, they're going to walk this one in.
You always like that on long putts when you just have to go ahead and tap it in stress-free. And this effort by Justin Thomas.
He's currently ahead in this rivalry. Let's see what happens.
Well, that's got to have some impact on the scoreboard. Let's take a look. Time to face a par 4.
You got to shake off that last hole, Luke. It was atrocious.
Time for the second shot here at the 13th. Oh, golf clap. That's a beauty. Always nice to have a birdie putt.
Their short game has been very impressive. They've been really sharp today.
Now let's switch our focus to Justin Thomas.
Oh, he's out in front here in this rivalry, but can he stay that way?
Sitting at 10 over for the event. Now on the tee after a birdie. Fired up and ready for more. Yeah, you hit a beauty, didn't you? From about 200 yards out. Wonderfully played. What are we looking at for this putt, Henny?
Yeah, they've left it in the perfect spot here, just below the hole. They can be aggressive up the hill.
A wonderful putt. You can claim it. Back-to-back birdies.
Back-to-back birdies, move in the right direction there, Luke.
Next up is this par 4 hole. That should find the cut stuff. Playing this shot from about 180 yards. Oh, well done. Now let's head over and see what JT's been doing.
Coming off a bogey on the last hole.
Let's see if we can make this big putt for birdie. Okay, steady now. You've finished your work on that hole. Let's take a look at the next one. Let's see what happens here at the 16th. Opting for the 9-iron. Unable to find the green on this one.
A bit too much club there.
Let's see if we can get this one up and down for par. Oh, I like the look of that shot there, Beamer.
Judging it beautifully.
Well holed. Our current leader is enjoying a 2-stroke lead. Emery Beach Golf Club is another one of these courses, Rich, that has a short par 4 at 17th.
It does. As you can see, massive bunker down the left-hand side. So players really want to bail out to the right and leave themselves with just a nice, short little pitch shot. Only the brave and the longest are really going to want to challenge this green. A great opportunity for one final birdie.
Oh, well played. Putting for birdie. And this effort by Justin Thomas.
He's happy, just came off a birdie.
And let's see what that shot did to the leaderboard. Well, that's certainly a step in the right direction. Keep it going. All right, one more hole to go. The 18. This shot from around 210 yards. Opting for the hybrid, I think. That doesn't look good, Rich. Bit too far right for my liking. Sadly, this one will make a splash. This putt for par here. That's frustrating. And this putt is for a final score of 80. 3 feet to go here to the hole. Oh, he's up, Tiger. And the dreaded triple bogey putt. And with it, that concludes his event. And as we take a look at our rivalry results, it's a big thank you to Henny for bringing us all the magic from the course today.
No place I would rather be, Luke. What a day it was. Saw some wins, saw some losses. Overall, some great golf and a pleasure to be out here alongside you guys.
On behalf of Rich Beam, Henny Kuyak, John McCarthy, I'm Luke Elvey saying so long from 2K Sports. 2K Sports, in association with the PGA Tour, proudly presents the season-long race for the FedEx Cup. Today's coverage of the Arnold Palmer Invitational is about to begin. I'm Luke Elvey, alongside Rich Beam in the booth, and it's a hello to Henny Koyak down on the course, following our featured group.
Hi Luke, I'm very pleased to be covering this particular featured group because there's a fresh rivalry developing. I smell rivalry in the air. It's going to provide some great entertainment to both the spectators and us this week.
Well, Henny, it sounds like this player's going for gold. They're trying to beat Xander Schauffele.
I wouldn't want to try and beat an Olympian. A gold medal winning Olympian with hair as good as Xander Schauffele? And a swing as good as Xander Schauffele? No thank you. I'll leave this up to them.
Yes, I'm just looking through his list of weaknesses, and let me just list them off now. Yep, none. Good luck to you. That's a good-looking shot there. And take us through the approach shot. It's not easy to run the ball onto the green.
It's not. Your approach shot has to come in high and soft with a lot of spin, as there's just not much depth to this green. Not much movement either, fairly flat, although there is a ridge that bisects this green in two. You want to make sure that you're on the correct side of that ridge to have a good opportunity to make the putt.
And if this can go down, he'll save par. Ooh. That's just about 3 feet away.
This is what they have left for bogey.
He's currently sharing 8th position. The second hole is a long par 3, old typical Redan style at 230 yards.
Yes, the green runs from right to left and chases away from the player on the tee. You can hit it short right and have it bounce on to the flag sticks that are on the right. However, when they're in the back left, you don't want to come up short and left in a low area. That'll leave a very difficult up and down.
We need this one to bounce right. That's a good shot by him. He'll be delighted. Setting up here with a very long putt. Oh, gee, that line was looking good, wasn't it? Yeah, that putt looked pushed. Let's try and make this one. And only drop the one shot. Don't want to state the obvious, Rich, but a little too hard, that one. Yeah, well hold. Let's move on to the next. Now heading over to Xander Schauffele.
He's 2 strokes ahead in this group rivalry today.
What have they got in front of them here, Henny?
Setting up this putt 10 feet from the cup.
And after that effort, this is how the field is shaping up. Rich, the first exposure to the famous lake here at Arnold Palmer's Bay Hill Club and Lodge is the third.
There's a lot of intimidating tee shots on this golf course, Luke. This could be number one. Water down the left-hand side you obviously want no part of, but if you miss it right in the rough, that is very gnarly and nasty to come out of. The green works away from the player, moving from right to left. The miss is out to the right, but watch out. It's awfully quick coming down that green. Don't chip it or putt it in the water.
Xander Schauffele, delightful player out of San Diego, California. He's got that cool vibe about him. Came out, won early a few times, but then he seems to have struggled to find that next step, hasn't he? He's sort of golf's almost man, except when he got that gold medal put around his neck.
I think that took his confidence to a place where it should have been in the first place, Luke. I think that this young man, he's got no weaknesses, very little weaknesses, if anything, in the game. I look at him and think, why hasn't he won more? Well, the problem is that he's put himself in contention so many times that there's only one person in the game that has won at a clip that he could have, and that's Tiger Woods. When you put yourself into contention as often as he does, you're just not always going to win. Somebody is going to come from back in the pack, shoot a great round, and you might struggle just a little bit, whatever the case. But yes, he hasn't closed as many tournaments as he would have liked, but he is there each and every week. I got to say, this kid he's a world beater. He's going to be phenomenal.
Time now for the fourth shot. Currently 4 shots off the pace. And he needs this to save par. Just didn't drop. That was pretty straightforward. We'll now move over to Xander Schauffele.
It's been neck and neck. He's actually tied with his rival. This is tough. Can he do it?
Patrick Cantlay currently in the lead. The 5th at Bay Hill is the shortest par 4 on the front 9, measuring just under 400 yards, Rich. Placement off the tee, critical here.
It is. It plays straight downhill the entire way, so most players not taking driver out and challenging those bunkers. Lay up short of those, and you'll have a short shot to a green that once again chases away from you at the back end of it.
Just 3 feet to the cup.
Now, with any luck, they can hold this and manage to leave Xander Schauffele behind. Get some momentum here.
That's a poor lie. Will he be able to get out of here?
He's gonna need a digging truck, maybe? I don't think a sand wedge is good enough to get this out.
And how did that shot impact the score? Let's have a look at the leaderboard. Now we head to the famous par 5 6th, Rich. A lot of players are thinking birdie, maybe even eagle.
Out to the right, most definitely the widest part of the fairway, just left of the left-hand bunker out there. We'll leave a layup out to the right, and then you just have a short pitch on from there. This is a really solid birdie opportunity.
This one is off the charts, hooked.
That's going to find the water, sadly. And here we are with the 3rd shot. 4 strokes off the lead. Sitting at 3 over par. A chance to move into the top 10. Seems to have chosen the 3-wood. Oh, what a lovely shot. He'll be delighted to be inside the range there. And this putt to move into the top 10. That one raced by. Bit of work coming back. That's a bogey, but not a bad putt. He's currently tied for 13th. Let's have a look at the 7th hole, a par 3.
Finally, you have a green that pitches back towards you ever so slightly, Luke, but still coming into it with a good 6-5 iron from 195 yards. It's still a difficult task to get it close.
Needs a little ground help to the left.
That's well played. Anything on the green from there was fine. What's in front of them, Henny, with this putt?
Setting up this putt 17 feet from the cup. This is what they have left for birdie here.
It was on a good line. A good opportunity here, just 6 feet to the hole. And in it goes for the par. And he dances his way to the top 10 after that delightful shot. Now heading over to Xander Schauffele.
He's trying to pull ahead in this group rivalry. Let's see what happens.
Here's Xander Schauffele. So after that effort, this is the current standings on the course. Trailing by 5 shots after that hole. The par 4 8th, Rich, challenging tee shot and approach.
Love this tee shot here, Luke. The fairway camber's pretty good from right to left, kicking the golf ball towards that bunker. So make sure to take one less club off this tee. From there, you make sure that you take enough club for your second shot to carry the front edge. If not, that golf ball will come falling back off the green into the drink.
What kind of shot are they facing here, Henny?
He's got about 140, I'd say.
That was a little untidy, wasn't it? Straight into the water. And here we are with their fourth. 5 strokes behind our leader. This is a bogey putt coming up. He's in a tie for 14th place. Let's take a look at the final hole on the front 9, the 9th, and what a tough tee shot it is.
It is it ever. Players want to avoid the bunker down the left-hand side, so inevitably they push it out to the right-hand side, into the rough, into the trees. Now they've got really very little chance of reaching the green in 2. So this is probably the most difficult tee shot on this front 9, and one they have to find the fairway with.
Nicely done. From around 170 yards here, 5 shots off the pace. And choosing the 8-iron here.
Needs a little members bounce to the right.
Yep, that shot safely on the green. A putt for a place in the top 10. Ouch, that hurts. Just 4 feet remaining between him and the hole. Solid par putt, that. We'll now move over to Xander Schauffele.
Yeah, he just made bogey on that last one.
Here's Xander Schauffele. Looks to be going with the 5-iron.
Oh, this is on a fantastic line. Is it the right distance?
And now we can take a look at how that play affects the leaderboard. And as we transition into the back 9, Rich, what are you seeing out there so far?
Well, Luke, I've been enjoying this pair of rivals we are following today. The 2 of them are pretty even for the event so far. Very interested to see who will come out of this with the bragging rights.
Oh, that was mashed. Time for the second shot at the 10th. This one could take a little bounce to the left. Well, Rich, think they can make this one?
Luke, I really don't think this is going to happen, but you know what? I've been wrong before, and it could happen again.
Now heading over to Xander Schauffele.
It's been neck and neck. He's actually tied with his rival. This is tough. Can he do it?
That's inside the range. It's time to check on the leaderboard. Patrick Cantlay finds himself 1 shot clear at the top of the leaderboard. The par 4 11th resembles the par 4 3rd, doesn't it? The big lake on the left-hand side.
It does. It just has a little more landing room here on the left-hand side, however. But if you lay back, be prepared to go in with a long iron. If you take the driver out and successful, you now turn this challenging hole into almost a birdie opportunity.
Yeah, that one will play. And Henny, what's he looking at here?
Setting up from about 130 yards out.
Oh, that was pure. And this putt is for birdie 3 on the scorecard. Oh, just missed. This putt is to move inside the all-important top 10. We'll now move over to Xander Schauffele.
He's 1 stroke behind his rival in this event.
Yeah, that one's looking good. Oh, that is brilliant. A bonus birdie.
Wow, what can you say? Holing it out from the fairway. Every player loves that feeling. What a shot indeed.
Well, that didn't look like their best swing there. Henny, do you have a better look at this lie?
He's eyeing this up and he's pleased with what he's seeing. This is sitting nicely.
And what are we looking at here, Henny?
I can see the 125-yard marker just nearby.
Well, take notes, folks. That's how you do it.
Nearly doesn't get any better than that. Amazing shot.
Appears to have overcooked this one. Patrick Cantlay's heading the field in this one. Number 13, not a long hole by anyone's stretch, but the pond in front of the green really plays havoc.
It does, more so than it should. It's just a long iron or a hybrid off the tee. Find the fairway down the right-hand side, open up the angle for your second shot, and it's obvious you just don't want to miss your second shot right. So bail out to the left-hand side, make a par. Pretty simple.
Oh, come on, you're better than that.
No harm, no foul there with that shot.
This one's for birdie.
Looking to sink this to be even with Xander Schauffele.
And he'll be proud of that one. Good way to bounce back from the bogey at the last. Oh, we'll take that and a spot in the top 10 to boot. Patrick Cantlay is at the top of the leaderboard with a one-stroke lead. And another of the uphill par threes, the 14th, Rich.
This is such a difficult hole because this tee shot lines you up over on the left-hand side where you'll find those bunkers. But if you bail out to the right, well, now you're running into a low area that you have a pretty difficult chip shot to a green that historically is the firmest and fastest on this golf course.
Opting for the 5-wood. Playing within their comfort zone there.
Slim chance here for birdie, but you never know.
And this putt to move into the top 5. Ooh, right by the hole. Oh, this would be a good one to make. It's for par. Now heading over to Xander Schauffele.
He's trying to pull ahead in this group rivalry. Let's see what happens.
So after that effort, let's take a look at the leaderboard. And Patrick Cantlay, currently our leader. As we get into the closing stretch here at Bay Hill, the 15th, the par 4.
Strong par 4, dog legs from left to right. Don't miss it out to the right in that bunker. Not only are you hitting your second shot out of the trap, but also you've got some magnolia trees to deal with. This is a very difficult fairway to find because that fairway does chase away from you just over that bunker. This is a very strong par 4.
We'll now move over to Xander Schauffele.
He's got some work to do, but he's only one back from his rival.
Beautiful swing there. Henny, what have they got in front of them here?
Setting up here from about 140 yards.
Going with the pitching wedge here.
Got great connection here. Yeah, this is looking good.
What's in front of them, Henny?
Careful not to leave this one short. It's back uphill and nothing worse than leaving an uphill putt short.
Patrick Cantlay finds himself 2 shots clear at the top of the field. Well, one of the great parts of the finish here of Bay Hill's Club and Lodge, Rich, is the fluctuations in scoring, and it all starts here at the par 5 16th.
Luke, you got to take advantage of this par 5. It's just over 500 yards. Find the fairway. Don't flirt with either of those bunkers out there. Second shot should be with a middle to long iron to a green that's surrounded by water on the left and bunkers on the right. But still, it's a great opportunity to make 4 or better.
That ball looked a little thirsty. Playing their 4th shot. 4 shots behind our leader. Sixth shot coming up. Currently 4 shots off the pace. "15 feet to the cup." That's frustrating.
This putt coming up is for triple bogey. That was a gallant attempt. Job done. Let's head to the next. Patrick Cantlay is atop the leaderboard with a 2-stroke lead. Looks like they've got the 5-wood. Wow, what happened there? Now heading over to Xander Schauffele.
He's currently ahead in this rivalry. Let's see what happens.
All right, facing a little up and down here to save the par. Great touch. Really nicely played.
Yes, very smooth tempo there on that chip.
Rich, as we head to the finishing hole here at Bay Hill, a famous finishing hole, so much drama over the years, predominantly by the great Tiger Woods. But most of the drama starts off the tee.
It does. This is actually a semi-blind tee shot. There's a mound down the right-hand side of the fairway where you can't see the golf balls land, so players won't know whether they found the fairway or missed it right or even out on the left-hand side. Most iconic moments in all of golf, in my mind's eye, Robert Gomez holding his second shot here back in 1990 to claim the title.
How close was that to going down? Let's see if he can make this and keep the par on the card. And with that putt, concludes this players' round. Well, Rich, mate, it's been an absolute pleasure spending this time with you in the booth. What a day.
Look, it was a great week all around. Already looking forward to the next event.
Well, another great day of action here at 2K Sports. On behalf of Rich Beam, the entire hard-working folks and team here, I'm Luke Elvey. We look forward to your company next time.